The A's have been in the news big time this offseason, and for more on what's taking place with Oakland, let's welcome in a longtime San Francisco Chronicle beat writer for the A's, Susan Slusser, also a correspondent for us here on MLB Network. And Susan, good morning. Thanks for calling in. First, a question for you, Barry Zito. It seems like we're going back in the time machine. Do you actually think he has a decent chance here to make the starting rotation?
Very unlikely. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Barry's been working with Ron Wolford, who's the guy who sort of resurrected Scott Kazmir's career. He's going to feel obviously very comfortable being back in the Bay Area where he's been essentially his entire baseball career. And the A's really do have a soft spot for their old guys. They've brought back a lot of their old players in previous years, and they've managed to stick for all or part of the year. Jason Giambi, who retired yesterday, was one of those a few years ago. So, it certainly will be very nice to have him in camp. He will be nothing but a very, very good guy for those young pitchers to learn from, and kind of set a nice tone for the season, whatever happens with Zito.
Hey, Susan, it's Harold here. It's been an interesting winter for the A's, and I'm sure they want to get down to spring training. My question is, what are they looking to do? How many roster spots are open, and what do you think Billy's sitting there saying, this is what I want to accomplish when we leave camp?
Well, they've got two real main areas, which, a lot of people do. It's three guys in the rotation they need to set. They've only got two set guys, obviously Sonny Gray and Scott Kazmir, and then they've got so many really talented pitchers that they've picked up in all of those trades. They've got to take a look at them, sort through them. Jesse Chavez, Drew Pomerantz come back. They've both got a shot in the rotation. So they've got to sort through about six guys for three spots. And then who's going to fill in as closer while Sean Doolittle is out with his shoulder soreness? Probably Tyler Clippard, but there are many candidates, and it could wind up being a hot hand kind of thing. And thirdly, Marcus Semien is going to be asked to be the A's full-time shortstop every day. It's not a job he's done at the big league level. They sort of need to get him up and running and see how he's handling things.
Where is Doolittle here in his recovery? And I know you reported he has a small tear in his rotator cuff?
He does. He had a platelet-rich plasma injection, and he was already feeling a lot better after that when the A's had their Fan Fest a week and a half ago. So I think he was feeling optimistic. The A's are not going to rush him. They've got a very, very good bullpen. They don't have to rush him, I think, especially considering it's his shoulder. This is a guy who did not pitch for a long time. He was a position player in the A's minor league system. This is just really going into his fourth real year of back to pitching. I think they'll take it slow with him. The first half, I think he'll be back sometime.
And right now, he's got bigger fish to fry anyway. He's right in the middle of it to face MLB, down to the Elite Eight, going up against Felix Hernandez. Let me ask you about Ben Zobrist. Where do you think Bob Melvin is going to plug him in?
Well, they're staying second base right now, but the beauty of Ben Zobrist is really they can, put him basically anywhere except catcher maybe. If they pick up someone else, and they're among the teams that are sort of eyeing the Cuban guys, particularly Hector Olivera, the second baseman. So were the A's to figure out something interesting to do anywhere else on the field, they can move Zobrist. So he's kind of the perfect Oakland A's player, the way they've fashioned their roster the last few years.
All right, Susan, last question. It's a two-part question. Can you see Ben Zobrist being traded this spring? And if not, will the A's, what players do you think might be traded this spring?
I don't think the A's are in trade mode anymore. I think they feel very happy with the roster they have. I think they would consider moving guys more like mid-season trade deadline if they're not heading in the direction they think they are. But they think they're going to contend again. And Zobrist was really the key. He was the final piece for them, the guy that they had been kind of keeping track of all along as the guy who would get them to that next level.
And give me 30 seconds here on a Jason Giambi. You mentioned it, retired yesterday. Could you see him as a manager in the future here in the majors?
Oh, no doubt about it. He can command the clubhouse and still keep everybody very friendly. Those A's teams, the first sort of few really successful Billy Beane A's teams of the late 90s, early 2000s, Jason Giambi was the unquestioned leader, and everyone just loves him. Anybody in the game that knows Jason Giambi is a big fan. So, yeah, I think he's a guy that's definitely going to get a shot on a coaching staff, probably as a hitting coach maybe first, and then down the line probably as a manager.
When are you heading out to Mesa?
I am going to be on a plane at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
There you go. Everyone's making their plans. Susan Slusser joining us on Hot Stove. Thank you, Susan.
Thanks, guys.